Hi, everybody. Hi. How are you? You guys, I'll answer for you. You're great. It's a great event. It's an honor to be here, paying tribute to defenders of free speech and supporting the work of the National Coalition Against Censorship. It's a great evening. It's like the uncensored Oscars. That's where we are tonight. Fabulous. As a comedian and as an author and as a person who lives on Twitter, and that is a terrible neighborhood. It's basically a teardown. I deal with questions around free expression all the time. How far can you take a joke, or a political statement, or an unpopular opinion? And I am somebody who has been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse for a variety of reasons, not least of which is my opinion that candy corn is in fact delicious. I'm gauging the room to see. It's congealed sunshine. That's what it is. So the question is, will those who oppose your ideas defend your right to say them? And so to me, free speech is kind of like the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July, where it's confounding and it's challenging and it's disgusting a lot of the time, but it wouldn't be America without it. Vibrant free speech allows all of us, creators, writers, artists, to participate in democracy. In fact, when it comes to electing those who represent us, it's almost as good as money. But Michael, the Supreme Court said free speech is money. Yeah, and the Supreme Court can go fuck itself on that one. Here we are on the eve of an election, which is in many ways about two competing worldviews. One of them is inclusive, one of them is exclusive. One refers to the media as the enemy of the people. One thinks silencing the media is the enemy of the people. But both sides, I think, challenge free speech. In different ways, certainly, utilizing different tactics, but we see it happening all the time. We see it happening on the right, and we see it happening on the left. A UC Berkeley poll from 2017 found that over half of California Democrats are in favor of free speech restrictions for white nationalists and hate groups. And I'm like, yeah, I hate Nazis, but at the same time, you go, well, what happens when the government's deciding that your group is a hate group? So to me, that's nearly as worrisome as the 45% of Republicans who think the government should have the power to shut down groups, or shut down, and now I'm quoting the poll, biased or inaccurate media outlets. When we get government involved in limiting free speech, here's what you end up with: silence. When we allow speech to be silenced, the first voices stifled are always and will always be the least powerful, the already marginalized. All of us in this room depend on free speech to think, create, and explore ideas. Silencing dangerous ideas feels good. I mean, you get your pitchforks out, it feels terrific. But it does absolutely nothing to combat those ideas. The right to disagree is also the right to offend. NCAC is a free speech first responder. The front lines of free speech defense are filled with students, activists, teachers, creators. When their freedoms are threatened, NCAC is first on the scene. They intervene directly in communities. They educate, advocate, empower, and make sure that all of us have a right to express ourselves, especially when the powers that be would rather we didn't. Tonight, we honor people who spoke out when silence was easier, who stepped forward rather than back, and who creatively expressed ideas they knew were important, that mattered so much to them, they knew they might just matter. We honor Gail Foreman, an award-winning author and journalist who speaks directly and forthrightly to her teen readers, and Oscar Eustis, the artistic director of the Public Theater, and an outspoken champion of free expression, artistic freedom, and the power of theater in democracy. We celebrate 2 student activists, Nishara Lundy, who took on her school district when it tried to ban her favorite book, and she won, and then she kept going, creating opportunities for more readers to access a book she knew was important. And Sadie Price Elliott, whose film about the value of protest is going to blow you away. Before we start the honors, I want to introduce you to a man who could never be censored, the executive director of NCAC, Chris Finan.